Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Ajani, and I got a message for you today. Before we get into all this lovely, juicy, helpful information, make sure you have your tea or your water. Okay, make sure you have your pen and your notebook so that you can take notes. And make sure that you're subscribed so that you're a part of this growing community, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload any new videos. I think that's all. So with that being said, let's get into our topic of the day. Today we're going to be talking about shadow work, okay? I think for individuals who are on their spiritual journey, it's so important for you to know what shadow work is and what it's all about so that you can take care of business and, reach your highest timeline and potential this lifetime, okay? So let's get into it. Shadow work is not, a difficult term to understand. It's actually really easy, and so many people talk about it, spiritual influencers and followers and all. And usually from my own observation, usually when people talk about shadow work, they make it sound so scary, but it's not. Once you understand what's actually happening and what you're supposed to do, it's actually really easy, and you can navigate yourself through the experience and the process so much easier without resistance. Okay, so let's get into it. What is shadow work? Okay, shadow work is basically the exploration and integration of the hidden aspects of your unconscious, okay? The hidden aspects of yourself, the shadow aspects of yourself, right? The aspects and parts of your personality that you have denied and suppressed, because you may seem that, or you may think that, those parts of your personality are undesirable or socially unacceptable, right? And the thing is about shadow work is when we allow ourselves to acknowledge, okay, understand, and accept, those parts, those hidden parts of ourselves, it leads not only to greater self-awareness, but personal growth. And the best part that, a really important part, emotional healing. So let's talk about the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is going to be really important when we're doing shadow work, okay? So the subconscious is where we store our thoughts, our memories, and our emotions, right? And although these aspects are not in our immediate awareness, they still influence our behaviors, our feelings, and our decisions, okay? So let's think about it like this. Our subconscious mind, like for example, say we've experienced something painful in this case. We've experienced something painful or traumatic or something that affected us pretty deeply, pretty greatly, right? What our subconscious is going to do is it's going to absorb all that information. It's going to absorb those thoughts, those memories, and those feelings about what it is that you experienced in that moment. It's going to store it into your subconscious mind, and it begins to shape the way that you behave, the way that you make decisions, and the way that you feel. The subconscious mind is just like a big iCloud, a big storage where we retrieve information, okay, where we retrieve the guidance on how to behave, on how to feel, on how to act, and what decisions to make, based off of things that we've already experienced. And the thing is, it's not conscious. It's so automatic. The way that we retrieve, this information is automatic. We don't realize that we're doing it because this information has been stored, for so long. Over time, these shadow aspects accumulate in the subconscious, right? Influencing our actions, reactions, our relationships, all without conscious awareness. Basically, a lot of what shadow work is doing, it's going in and it's unraveling those experiences, and it's allowing you to reflect and heal so that you can come back to yourself. Now, with that being said, why is shadow work so important? Why is it so important on our spiritual journey? Well, when we're talking about spirituality is all about coming out of the ego and moving into the soul, right? So with shadow work, we're moving out of the ego, the identity, okay, our sense of self, that is based off of, our subconscious, our sense of self that basically likes to conform itself in a socially acceptable way. Okay. But basically that part of our identity, the shadow work is basically going in, unraveling who we think we are, or who we have become based off of our subconscious patterns and beliefs and, our past experiences. It's going in, unraveling all that pain and trauma and bringing you back into your soul, bringing you back into your truth, bringing you back into the parts of yourself that actually matter, the parts of yourself that are so pure, so authentic. You know what I'm saying? So that's why shadow work is important, because it helps you, this is the work that you're doing to help you come out of the ego. Okay, sometimes I like to call the ego the wounded aspect of ourselves, because a lot of how we act is based off of, our past wounds. That's what the ego is. That's our identity. So it's like we're coming into our soul. We're moving out of the wounded aspect of ourselves, and we're coming into our truth, our authenticity, and our innocence, our purity, the true form and essence of who we are, right? So, how do we know where to start on our shadow work journey? This is a great question, and it's actually a very easy question to answer. Ask yourself, where have you been triggered lately? How have you been triggered lately? And what emotions, memories, or thoughts, came up when you were triggered, okay? Because basically when we are triggered, this strong emotional reaction is often because it touches a shadow aspect that has been stored in our subconscious, right? For example, if you are triggered by someone who may seem arrogant to you, it's probably because you have repressed your own feelings of inadequacy, okay? Or you have a fear of not being enough, okay? So basically, when we're triggered, it really touches a part of our subconscious that we need to work on. Basically, shadow work involves bringing these triggers to light, right? Here I am under a light. But it's all about exploring what's beneath those triggers, right? And understanding their roots in your subconscious. When we integrate our shadow aspects, it leads to more conscious, intentional behavior and decision making. Okay. So, with that being said, shadow work helps us uncover these hidden aspects, and it just leads us to a better version of ourselves. Okay. So, how do you get started on your shadow work journey? I promise you, it's super, super easy, super simple. All you have to do is ask yourself 4 simple questions. And before you ask yourself these questions, I want you to take some time, set aside some time and space for yourself so that you can go within. You're going to need to make sure you have that sacred space and time for you to really feel comfortable to do this work, because that's going to be important. And I want you to think about any times that you were triggered, whether it was recently or in the past, and you're going to ask yourself 4 questions when you have been able to retrieve those moments when you have felt triggered. You're going to ask yourself, what emotions came up during the triggering event? Okay. You're going to ask yourself, what does this reaction say about me? Okay. Number 3, you're going to ask yourself, when have I felt this way before? Okay. And lastly, you're going to ask yourself, is there a part of me that I have been ignoring or denying? Really, really powerful questions for you to ask, right? And after you journal, sit with this information. Don't just close your journal and, forget about it. Sit with this information, okay? This is a part of doing the work. And this is about accepting yourself, accepting all these parts of yourself without judgment. Okay, sit with it, be with yourself, love yourself, acknowledge yourself, understand yourself, integrate these aspects of yourself, and maybe take a few minutes to meditate. Okay, take a couple minutes after you do this, after you answer the prompts, instead of just shutting your journal and going on along your merry way, why don't you sit and you meditate? And I want you to visualize, yourself embracing the shadow aspects that you have discovered. And imagine that these parts of yourself receiving love and understanding. And know that uncomfortable feelings will come up, okay? Triggering emotions, feelings may come up. You may have some fear of change, okay? Don't judge yourself, okay? Just love, understand, and accept these parts of yourself. Embrace them and just love them. Be with them. Sit with them. It's okay for uncomfortable emotions to come up, okay? This process is gradual. Be patient with yourself. This is all a part of the healing journey, and the healing journey is not linear, okay? It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, which explains the crazy emotions sometimes. But with all this being said, this is shadow work, okay? Discovering who you truly are under all that pain, under all that trauma, under all those, past memories, past emotions, just all that energy that has been built up. You're just discovering who you are under all of that. Okay. So with that being said, my loves, this is shadow work, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and the information that I have given to you guys. If you like this information, make sure you hit that like button. Send me a comment if there was something in the video that stood out to you. If you have any questions, I do offer life coaching services as well. If you are needing a little extra guiding hand or help in your shadow work journey, all that lovely information will be down in the description box below. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Sending you guys so much love, so many blessings, and I'll catch you in the next message. Ciao.